Peace. Infinite Waters diving deep once again. We are breathing in that good ass prana, baby. 5 tips to stop caring what people think. Can I get a hello there? So I always get lots of questions about that from the email, from the Instagram. If you've got a question, Instagram us at Infinite Waters. I'm gonna give you the 5 tips that I use every single day so I can sleep at night. Okay? Because sometimes you want to dress like this and then you're scared. You want to do this and then you're scared. So we can't act like we're not affected by what people say about us. So how do we go about this? Okay, the first tip. You've heard me talking about owning your weirdness, but you haven't heard me talking about proving your weirdness. Can you prove your weirdness? Because that is how to stop caring what other people think. Now, owning your weirdness is having a signature like, can I get a hello there? Or wearing fancy clothes, or being very peculiar about something, or being a perfectionist about something, or walking down the streets butt naked, or going to collect the cat down the road every single day at 4:04. Kind of strange, right? Did you hear about that guy who was trying to ride his bike on a wave? Pathetic, crazy. Oh, shit. Did you hear about that guy who rode a wave on his bike? That's crazy. But wait a minute, you just called a guy crazy, and that's kind of crazy because he just did it. Let your weirdness be your salvation. Can I get a hello there? You see, he had to prove his weirdness because he probably owned his weirdness. I want to try this feat. But did he prove it to himself? Because that's the only thing that matters. Did you hear about this girl who said she was trying to stop eating meat for 1 year? What's going on with her? She must be drinking some crazy juice. Oh, shit. Did you see that girl who stopped eating meat for 1 year? Did you see how she looked? Did you see how much confidence she had? That's crazy. But wait a minute. You just called her crazy, which is kind of crazy. Now, I always talk about signatures. What is something that defines you from the crowd? That is your signature. Now you've got to prove it works to yourself. Because when you first start, people doubt you. When they see what you're doing is working, then they copy you. Now, exclusivity is what will build you the confidence. When you work on your weirdness every single day, when you create that exclusivity for your weirdness every single day, guess what? You get incredibly confident in your weirdness, and the opinions of other people become less important because it's working for you and you've got the proof. Okay, the second tip is what I call contrast. Blood, the veins, right, carries blood towards the heart. The arteries carry blood away from the heart. Everything is happening in a counterflow way, right? Traffic going this way, cars going that way, cars going this way, that way, this way, that way, this way. Okay, that's perfectly natural. That's the world we're living in. Polarity. So you can't expect everybody to agree with you. That would be very scary. However, what we've got to remind ourselves is that who are these people? Were they there for me when I was all alone? Were they there for me when I needed them the most? Right? but also allow other people to share their opinions. That's fine. It's got nothing to do with me. It's got everything to do with their own experiences. How people perceive you is a reflection of their accumulated experiences in this journey we call life. And everyone's experience is going to be different, so how they see you is also going to be different. Contrast. The universe works through other people to show us who we really are. So you're talking about becoming your greatest version, Ralph. Okay, let me see how confident you are about that. And over the years, I've been tried and tested, but once you know who you are, you just, breathe in that beautiful prana, baby. Because I was doing it back then, and I'm going to keep on doing this for eternity. Now, the third tip is what I call, you've got doers and you've got commentators, right? There are those that do things and there are those who comment on the people doing things. So those who have the most to say about us usually aren't doing anything. That's just how it works. Because when you're doing something, you know how hard it is to create something. You just want to support other people. For instance, I make videos about psychology, becoming your greatest version, eating healthy plant-based foods. Now, someone could come along and say, oh, that's easy. And then you go and look to see what they're doing, and they're not doing anything. Obviously. But the people that are doing something, if they say, wait a minute, why don't you try this? You see, it's all about how they're coming at you. If they're there to encourage you, to support you, then maybe you can listen. There might be a message in there for you that's going to take you to the next level. But if you get people who just put you down, then why on earth are you taking their advice? You're taking their advice because you doubt yourself. You're taking their advice because you're not sure. And that is fine, because once again, it takes time to build that confidence muscle. It takes time to believe in yourself. It takes time to trust yourself 100%. This is no joke. Yeah, you can't laugh now. Okay, the fourth tip is what I call seeing yourself with unconditional positive regard. I'm a big fan of the great psychologist Carl Rogers, who inspired me to become one. And he spoke of that extensively. Now, what do I mean by unconditional positive regard? I mean, if you fall down on the streets and everyone's laughing at you, get up and smile and say, well, it was just part of the dance. Right? You can't mess up. You are amazing. That's the mindset you've got to have. You've got to love yourself 100%. You've got to love yourself when nobody else will. You've got to accept yourself. Why? Because you have to live with yourself. When all your friends disappear, and they will, most of them, about 80%, you'll only be left with your reflections. It's you that has to live with you. So when I wanted to become a vegan 10 years ago, I had friends saying, don't do it, Ralph. Don't do it. It's a big mistake. I said, oh, really? Then I had to say, wait a minute. I love myself enough to believe I am making the right decision. Can I get a hello there? And goodness gracious, did it pay off? Oh yeah, healthier, more confidence, more energy, more abundance, only because I believed I was doing the right thing. If I didn't, I would have been screwed. And the last tip is what I call time spent. Now, people that worry about how other people perceive them, what you've got to remind yourself of is how much time do you think about negative people? How much time do you think about how positive people perceive you? And how much time do you spend thinking about yourself, how you perceive yourself? Okay, so when I used to really care about what other people would think of me, I would spend maybe 70% of the day, most of the day, thinking about negative people and their opinions of me. And then I would go to think about how much people love me. And then I would go to think about how I saw myself. So negative people, positive people, and how I thought about myself. Big mistake. If you want to stop caring what other people think, you got to do it in the reverse order. You got to realize your perception of yourself is more important than the perception other people have of you. So you start thinking of yourself first. How do I perceive myself? That's the only thing that matters. And then, how do other people perceive me? Right? When people tell you you are awesome, think of those people. That's going to be your confidence boost to give you an even bigger ego. And then you think about negative people the least. Why? Because they don't give you anything. They drain your energy. Those are the leeches you need to get rid of. Right, okay? Think about yourself, people that love you, and then people that don't serve you. In fact, go to the next level. Don't even pay attention to the people that don't serve you. Keep it moving more so. Breathe in that beautiful prana, have a beautiful day, and just keep sailing up, baby. Or in that direction, or that direction. Anywhere you want to go, you can go. Have a beautiful day. We are out here, infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace.